My name is Sterling Carl Tucker. I'm the Godly Glorious Gorgeous Genius Guru that's on a mission to make EGOD Technologies Corporation, starting with collision prevention systems. Sorry, kind of winded. I just want to make my DOGE Daily Details because it's... anyway, and I don't understand how it's so hard to get any sort of feedback from planet Earth, or any human on planet Earth, about the innovation of automated vehicle conversion kits or collision prevention systems. Anyway, I write in there all the time, and I know they read the questions because they've said other people's questions. Anyway, and it's also why I'm like hesitant to speak today. Because what did I do to deserve to be hated? How come I get ignored? Anyway, and it's really important, but it seems totally in vain in the fact that, I have yet to find anybody that cares. That's why I'm so grateful for the Tesla community. They care about the same things that I care about. So way before I knew Tesla even existed, I went to the governor of my state, Utah State, about automated transportation by means of conversion kits to make all of our roads right now, or within the next 12 months, death-free, so that it's not optional. Who thinks we have an option of whether or not we're going to be in a reality of where moms splatter every day on the way home? And I'm sorry to say that, but that's what happens. And people need to understand how unacceptable, how horrific, and completely preventable it is, guaranteed with collision prevention systems. But we're not even going to get anywhere even close to that if a civil problem ensues. And if there's really 17 million people over here illegally that are criminals, well, flip, if they act out in a single moment in unison with anything, we're done. There's not 17 million of us that are being paid to remove people from our country. Anyway, the People Safer Substance Source makes it so that nobody needs to get removed from the country. It completely wins and dominates the war on drugs and ends it so that our resources are not wasted, at least for the most part. It will be extreme because it will make the entire industry incredibly unprofitable, because you could get a percentage, like the way the People Safer Substance Source will work is they will take a percentage of an individual's gross revenue. Yeah. Before expenses. That could get really hard, though. Basically, the guy that doesn't participate in the system would win in business then, which isn't, we want both things to succeed. But anyway, biometric currency is an absolute godsend times a trillion for our country and for our government. It gives them the ability to prevent all illegal, dishonest, fraud, and violent crime. To do with robbery or theft or obtaining drugs, anything like that. It's all completely done away with by creating the People Safer Substance Source and some sort of biometric currency. What can biometric currency mean? It doesn't mean you have to have your fingerprint. It surely in the goddamn retard hell doesn't mean take the mark of the beast. And I can't believe that I'm on a Santa Claus Tinkerbell land place that believes in stuff like the mark of the beast. I mean, with the exception of yes, all humans are beasts. We're the species that, long outlasts the raptors, and that's actually falsely portrayed through Hollywood. They weren't really that cool. They were actually like the size of a turkey. Nonetheless, if 40 turkey-sized, sharp-teeth dinosaurs come at you, that's even worse that they're the size of a turkey. I'd rather have a giant one just chomp me. Anyway, it's so weird that we are on a planet where those life forms actually existed. And it just stands to logic, being as we're here right now. If everything exists forever, we were here back then. And so I hope that humankind makes the choice to go forward in the right direction, which is peace and prosperity. No one's smarter than Einstein, except me. Just kidding. I'm not smarter than Einstein, and I really don't think I am. I joke like that, and like, yes, I am very intelligent, which means the ability to get a desired result, but I am not very educated at all. In fact, I was public schooled until second or third grade, and I have to ask my mom. Then I was put into private school for 1 year, and then I never went to school again. Never got taught anything my entire life. I would teach myself. My parents had encyclopedias and whole encyclopedias on just understanding the scientific method and what we've established with it thus far. And so, and NASA and astronauts, all of that was in there. And so, though, and it's Elon doesn't have a formal education in rocket science. Like, yes, he has individually studied that. He's space-time's guru of it. He has no equal. Well, his team has no equal, at least. I mean, I don't know how. It seems like his brain understands 100% of everything to do with how the spacecraft work, which is absolutely amazing. I'm wondering too, so like if it's possible, like where, well, and I won't even go into that. There's just so much different tech and innovative ways of doing something more efficiently and easier for space exploration. That's my obsession, literally. Like, that's what I would do. That's what I would pay money to do, literally. Not be paid. I mean, people get paid to do that. People want to get paid to do that. I mean, Elon gets paid to do that. But anyway, I would pay money to get to do that for Elon, though, most specifically, because, like, I feel like he has 100,000 times over earned the permanent and unconditional loyalty and love of humankind. Without him, well, we probably would go to global war, and we'd for sure, yeah, in fact, no, I guarantee we would, because we would go bankrupt on a global level. Okay, every auto industry in our country, every bank, everything's been bankrupt for a long time, and somehow there's Tesla turning a profit the whole time, as Elon's paying more taxes than any other human in human history, which is the only thing that prevented the bankruptcy before now. Anyway, and the cool thing is by pursuing Elon's innovations such as FSD and also implementing it into collision prevention systems, it will save our economy. Because our economy is ultimately the goods or services we have for human consumption. And through car collisions, we're just losing them. We're losing human hours, we're losing human workers, we're losing our materials, we're losing our cars. We're like, the people get stopped on the way to work for hours. The officers have to be paid. Then the medical bills associated with it. People become paralyzed for the rest of their life. All of that, 100% prevented with collision prevention systems. But we won't even get that far without the people safer substance source, for certain. So that's what I'm going to work on with tonight with AI. Yeah, because AI is so much smarter and nicer than me. And I apologize to everybody for my blunt Americanism, I guess. Like, I'll call people stupid monkeys if they act like a stupid monkey. And I mean, I shouldn't. When I have cannabis, I don't. And speaking of which, I went over to the state dispensary today, and they are doing a really good job. I know I'm always talking about how the state monopoly is not legal. Well, I'm grateful for it. Okay, I'd rather have that state monopoly than the federal starvation. So go Utah. Yeah, at least we have some financial sense here. I mean, because And the coolest thing is, here's another fact. Okay, my entire life I've had cannabis, way before it was legal in Colorado or anything like that. And the amount that I pay from Utah State is just about 10% less than I used to pay. So it actually saves me money, actually makes things cheaper for people. And that's at a fixed rate. Like, it should be a percentage of people's income for whatever they want. Granted, we're going to really need to up the production and distribution capacity. My plan that the People Safer Substance Source is having an app and making the distribution system 99.9% autonomous. So the first autonomous pharmacies. That's their virtual equivalent. That's the idea behind the People Safer Substance Source, is that people can get whatever it is that they feel that they need for the pursuit of happiness without robbing one of us. Like, that's so terrifying. Why would the government take away these psychopaths whatever they want so they come after us for, like, okay, here's a common prescription is Xanax. That people will rob people for, stuff like that, I've heard. And like, I don't deserve to have that happen. And the other thing that's really important about the People Safer Substance Source, for example, the fact that people would rob somebody over Xanax or something like that, there's something seriously wrong with them. And they need counseling. And they need drug help. Like, but it's not the drugs that are the problem, it's their mind. And then drugs exacerbate it. But generally speaking, humans do what they feel like doing, and when they feel good, they do good. That is just an absolute scientific fact, and you can logically understand that. You're going to do what you feel like doing. Yes, you can manipulate it to a certain degree by, like, you getting out of bed in the morning. You don't want to do that. You don't feel like doing it, but you do it anyway. And that's because you actually do want to do it, because your brain's calculating you'd rather do that than the option B, which is be homeless out on the street or not feed your kids or something like that. Yeah, I'm so grateful to be raised with American values, especially where I'm raised in Utah with Utah LDS values. But in addition to America's humanity, we've got a long history of it. We were the first land to say, bullshit, humans are not for sale. All life is created equally. We were the first land. Since the very beginning, they've been... And nobody's ever had a problem with slaves somehow until us. And so, we've got a long history of being a very, very, very good people, even though the world falsely judges us because the way we respond to problems, we just immediately solve it in a way that, yeah, it went too far, but sorry, it's what happens. And people need to learn that so it doesn't. Like, let's just, everybody get along with everybody. Like, we all have that right and need and deserve it, and it's easiest and best for everyone. So, yeah, it's important that people talk about it, and it only happens if you personally do it. So spread the gospel at eGod. I love you, Doge fam.